and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about getting an assistant. This can be self-employed assistants or employing them yourself. They are completely different systems of even getting them, so let's get started. So I have had an employed assistant, which was my nan, and now I've got two self-employed assistants, and for me personally, I think the best way that works for our business is to have them self-employed. So to have an employed assistant, you have to register them with the HMRC, the tax. You have to set up a PAYE, which is a system that you can show how much you're giving to the assistant, wages and things like that, and you have to then do it a monthly to show that you're keeping on top of everything and send it off to them. So I found that really difficult to even set up. It was so confusing at first, but when you get into the hang of it, it's the repetition, it's over and over again sort of thing. When my nan actually retired, I had to close all that down, which seemed to take forever to get the hang of doing. Hold on a minute, I seem to be very yellow. Oh, I'm gonna have to stay yellow. So it took a really long time to actually shut the whole system down, which I wasn't a fan of, and I probably would never go down that route again, but it is an option for you if that's what you want to do. The downsides of having them as an employed assistant is you have to pay for sick pay, you have to pay for maternity, and with it being this type of business, it's not affordable for me to be paying for someone's maternity. It's not affordable for me to be paying someone's sick pay. Say my assistant was off sick, I would then have to bring in my next assistant, take cover of that day, because I'd have too much short notice to get rid of all of them children. So I would then be paying for two assistants' wages, if that makes sense, for that day, which for me, I would be basically working for free, so it wouldn't work at all for me that way. So I've gone down the self-employed route, which is working out really good. There is quite a bit of paperwork to do to get them into the business, but once they're in, it's just keeping up with qualifications, first aid, and things like that, really. So I have my folder here of everything that I do for, well, this is actually for certificates, information and things like that, but I have a whole section of what I do for my for my assistants, so I thought I'd go through it so I don't forget anything out. Okay, so first of all, you are looking to get an assistant. You need to show Ofsted that you have gone out there and not just picked your best friend because you want to. You have to show that you're picking this assistant because you feel that they're going to be bringing something to the job, they're going to be good with the children, they're going to be great on your Ofsted inspections. So the only way I got around that is to have an interview. Now this doesn't need to be like a full-on scary interview where you're sat at the other side of the table firing questions at them. It could just be sitting down, having a nice cup of tea, you've got your list of questions and you just answer them. For me, I sent them the list of questions first and then we just went over and talked about it because it was so much easier and so much more relaxing for me, because I didn't want to feel like I was putting a lot of pressure on them. I wanted it just be this type of situation where it is here, where we're just all relaxed, we know what we're doing and we just get on with it. So I wrote my list of questions down, let me just find them. The first one is, tell me about yourself. What can you bring to the setting? If a child was abused at home and told you, what would you do? Are you happy to talk to parents and about what the child has been up to during the day? How do you feel about messy play? And are you happy to do training in and outside of work hours? And it was just as simple as that. They took the questionnaire away, they brought it back, and yeah, we just talked about it, went through all of the questions and what actually needs to happen and what actually we do, and then that was it. From that, I then asked for a CV, I asked for 2 references, and I asked for, what else was it? A staff disclosure form. Now I'm not sure if this is just a thing that we do in our area, so I'm gonna have to check on this, but it is like a mandatory thing, like we have to do it where I am. So it says the staff's name, the date, and then it goes through with your staff / assistant / volunteer needs to declare that since their last appraisal that they have not had any safeguarding issues, no changes to health or medication, and blah de blah de blah de blah. So I'm pretty sure this might be the whole of the UK, but I don't want to say it if it's not, so I'm not 100% sure on that. But from that, I've agreed everything, I've gone through the references, I've gone through their CV, I'm happy with everything. The next stage is to get their DBS sorted out, because that takes a hell of a long time to come through. So she had no idea what it was. So obviously I had to explain what it all was, and then I had to send them the link because she couldn't find it. So that was easy, because you just go on Google, you type it all in, and you just send them the link and they do it all themselves. So you don't have to worry about any of it, because they are self-employed. It's up to you if you want to pay for it, but they are self-employed, so they can claim it through their tax. Once the DBS comes back, they then need to register with Ofsted, which is an EY2 form. You can find this on their website, or if you just go on Google EY2 Ofsted, it pops up. That also takes a really long time to go through. There are a few questions as well that they get stuck on. But it's simple for me to understand, because obviously I'm in the business already, so I just told them the answers, they sent it off, and it just came through. I think it was 8 weeks for I think it was 8 weeks for Kay's one, and possibly like 5 weeks for Devon's one, something like that. But it's just simple, it goes through, and then you get a letter in the post from Ofsted to say they are suitable to work, and that is great. Next is signing the contract and signing the policies. These are your contracts, your policies, but the contract is different from the ones that you use for the parents. So I hope that makes sense. So by the assistant signing your policies, they are agreeing to how you run your business. Every single one of your policies they have to sign and agree to, and they get a copy and you get a copy. Then the next thing is the contract. So you set out your details at the top, their details, you state everything that they are gonna do. Everything down to if you want them to do nappies, if you want them to do daily diaries, if you want them to do learning diaries, if you want them to even help do the school runs, if you want them to help talking to the parents at the door. You have to state everything that you want them to do, and once they agree to it, then it's easy sailing, because you've agreed to it, they know what that's expected of them, and so on and so forth. So in the contract as well, you need to state what you'll be paying them and what hours they'll be working. In mine, because at the beginning it started to vary a bit, I've stated that the week before they are going to have an update from me of the hours that they're going to do for the following week. They will also be on the same rate for the whole of the contract, and I think that was it. Let me check. Yeah, and then they just sign the bottom of it. You sign it too, and that's it. From there, they need to do a child protection course. This at the minute is free where I am, so you'll have to check if you can get it free from your local authority on your CPD. It's just an online course that they fill out all the questions to, they read all of the documents, and they are aware of what is going on, basically. So that was super simple for them to do. They easily logged on, they got hold of everything. They also signed up for the local CPD, so they can go to the courses with me for anything like the Thrive, the forums, what else have we gone to lately? My mind's gone blank, but loads and loads of different ones, and they all come along with us, and we just sit down and we listen, and then on their CBT it actually says that they've attended, so that's great for Ofsted to see that too. Oh, they need a first aid, not straight away, so don't think that they can't start without it, because they really can. They can start from the moment you've got that letter from Ofsted to say that they're suitable for work. The first aid is if you are thinking for any minute of the day that assistant is going to be alone with the child for a maximum of 2 hours. They can't have it any longer than 2 hours. That is what's stated in the EYFS. For the parent side of thing and how you're going to inform them, you can talk to them at the door, you can write a little note, you can do a newsletter. For us, we spoke to them at the door, and then we also wrote a new policy. You need a new policy, by the way. That's another one, to state what is happening, what your assistant... I actually went online and there was assistant policy online, and I just changed it around to our setting. Oh, I might put a link down below so you can get it too. So, I think that might be everything. Oh, it's quite a long video. Okay, so... I hope you liked this video, and if you did, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe for the next one, and I'll see you soon. Bye!